So, guys, as for now, the season 6 has been released, and the first episode you can watch. But with the season 6 eminent, here is what you need to remember from the previous seasons of Peaky Blinders. So, if you haven't watched the season 5 or any of them, so there will be spoilers. So, let's start. Peaky Blinders season 5, we have like characters Mosley and the betrayal between the Peaky's opium business and the Greys. The very first image you see in Peaky Blinders season 5 is a lone green weed growing in a field of mud. In the most dramas, there would be a sample of free birth and recovery. Representations say uh, that Tommy Shelby gradually returning conscience years after the vast blasted into pieces. Peaky Blinders stories in most dramas, and in the screen finale, the symbol is revealed to have the darker meaning, identifying with Tommy Shelby and the fellow of World War One. So, in season 5, Michael, Gina, and the Wall Street crash and they take over. Tommy, of course, saw it coming, but in October 1929, stock exchange crash took everyone else by surprise. Michael, who had been banished to US 2 years earlier as punishment for not warning Tommy of the ambush he thought his mom Polly was plotting with Luca Changureta, that turned out to be a ruse she would be plotted with Tommy, disobeyed Tommy's order to cash into Shelby's company investment and lost the family hundreds and thousands of dollars. That left Michael on Tommy's shit list. Even before the IRA told Tommy that his nephew was plotting with a Glasgow based UVF gang to take over his empire and divvy up the spoils, Michael denied it, but Tommy never trusted him again. In season 5, Tommy was plagued by dreams that a black cat was coming for his crown and suspected Michael was a traitor. Rightly as it turned out, Tommy initially told Michael to earn back the money he had lost through the management of Shelby's company Cold Haulage business, really a front for their new and highly lucrative trade in Chinese opium. With the dollar signs in their eyes, Michael and his new pregnant American wife Gina came up with a proposal to pay the original board of members off and take over the company, expanding into Detroit, New York, and Boston, home to Gina's bootlegger family. The American didn't want to deal with an old-fashioned backstreet razor gang, said Michael. They wanted the next generation. So Tommy rejected the proposal and fired Michael, leaving Gina and Michael to the second options, which was to stage the coup anyway against the Tommy's well. The battle lines have been drawn for season 6 as we already seen in the episode 1. The biggest questions in season 5, the failed assassination of Oswald Mosley. As in the House of Commons, real life racist, anti Semite, and the fascist Sir Oswald Mosley recognized Tommy Shelby's talent for speaking as the voice of the people and approached him to make an alliance. Mosley was launched a new political party, the British Union Fascists, and wanted Tommy Shelby to rally his troops into Midlands. Tommy publicly agreed to an alliance so that he could spy on Mosley's station and sell his secrets to the British intelligence, as he would also done with communist activist Jesse Eden, whose plans Tommy sold in exchange for lucrative military contacts. Winston Churchill, though, recognized that Tommy wasn't the only in it for the money. He was also motivated to stop Mosley, Gypsy, and the Jew-hating ideology from infecting the country. So Mosley, as we know, that treated Tommy like a dirt throughout their dealings, humiliating his wife Lizzie when he realized he paid her for sex. Back in her nightclub hostess days, insulting his gypsy family and forcing him to hand over the Peaky Blinders to the Jimmy McRowan, Glasgow UVF leader, in a bid to take over the Peaky Blinder territory. And his like Billy Boys had planted landmines outside the Tommy's house and murdered the Abrama Gold's boxer son Bonnie. as we have seen in the recent episode, in the previous episode of season 5. So the on the night of Raleigh, the assassination plot failed when Thompson was executed by a mystery gunman. Arthur Shelby was attacked but survives. Brahma was stabbed to death. Brahma Gold was stabbed to death. Somebody has betrayed uh, Tommy's plan, but who? That's the questions mark for season 5, and we're gonna see that what happens in the season 6. So let's talk about the characters like Polly, Arthur, Ada, and Finn. In season 5, Polly was torn between her son and her nephew. Tommy let Michael back into the Shelby's company in exchange for Polly's eyes yes vote on the opium deal, and it didn't lead to the peace. Polly foresaw a war between two men in which one of them would die, but she didn't know which. But unfortunately, in April 2021, acclaimed actor Helen McCrory died of cancer, leaving the Peaky blender cast and grew barefoot as a question mark over the future of all, Polly's foundational role. Arthur's wife Linda started season 5 frustrated that he was being used by Tommy as the nominal Shelby company director to keep MP Thomas Shelby OBE nose clean, but had no real power. She gave Arthur an ultimatum and left him, returning to the Quakers. After the Billy Boys killed Abraham's sons, Abraham sought revenge in Glasgow, and Arthur was forced to follow him there, join the fight, and bring him home. Later, Oswald Mosley told Arthur his spies had seen Linda with a Quaker man, so Arthur beat the man half to death. Linda then turned up at Leslie's birthday party with a gun, ready to kill the Arthur in revenge, but Polly shot her first. Linda survived the bullet but drove away, the promising never see Arthur again. After that, Arthur went on Linda campaign of drinking cocaine and violence, insisting that he was enjoying his freedom. As for Ada was Tommy's right-hand woman in the sale of communist secrets to British intelligence. She would have been sleeping with intelligence agent called Ben Younger and founded herself pregnant by him. Younger was killed in a car bomb planted by unseen character. We can see that it would be like mercenary Paddy Rose, leaving the Ada's Barashil baby. A doctor predicts Polly fatherless, and it's not known whose fate rose to plant the bomb, which also killed a young local boy. But evidence Tommy had gathered against the Mosley was destroyed in the blast. It could have been younger intelligence bosses, Special Branch, Tommy season 3 enemies, Section D, or the IRA. Younger son of Finn was properly initiated into Peaky Blinders in season 5. He took a bullet in the Chinatown raid, was almost killed by assassin, and was given control to the like of beating scams. Finn got stuck into whiskey, snow, and women, and befriended ex-footballer Billy Grade, who had seen been strong armed into gang by Arthur to provide the intel on the gang's new football fixing racket. And in the finale was seen reaching for the telephone when Finn accidentally let slip Tommy's plan to shoot the fishes, who was Billy, calling Michael, I think Michael, or the Section D, or the Special Branch. It can be the IRA, and they did foil the assassinations, of course. Let's talk about the Alfie Solomon. Tommy fought off other ghosts from the past, having a time reporter who was sniffing around his small days killed. He joined the forces with another ghost when it was believed that Alfie Solomon hadn't been killed at the end of season 4, but was living in Margate and willing to help Tommy's plan to kill anti-Semitic Mosley for the right price. Tommy self-medicated with his old friend opium, but become increasingly paranoid and unpredictable as the season went out. Tommy did told himself he was spying on Mosley purely for the business opportunity, but really he was answering a deeper instinct on that told him that stop Mosley brand of evil because it was the right thing to do, not just a profitable one. After Tommy and the Arthur murder, Mikey Gibbs, the barman at the Garrison Tavern, uh, Tommy's hand shook like that hand of normal man, signifying that all the trauma and the emotions had shut down since the war were coming painfully back to service. As Ida told Ben, perhaps at last Tommy Shelby has actually started to believe in something. So Peaky Blinders season 5 ends when assassinations of Mosley failed and the Tommy Shelby didn't know who did it. So the season 6 approximately will be starting from that point, and let's see what happened in season 6. So that was the recap of the season 5 of Peaky Blinders. Let me know what's your thought about it, and please subscribe and support.